Starting with No. 1 Junkers Ju-87 Stuka, Germany, 1936. The Stuka was Nazi Germany's airborne artillery, built to terrorize ground forces across Poland, France, and North Africa. Its Jericho trumpets, wind-driven sirens mounted on the landing gear, shrieked during dive attacks, psychologically collapsing infantry before the bombs even landed. Ground troops reported mass panic, abandoned positions, and complete unit disintegration under Stuka assault. Pilots, however, operated in one of the most exposed cockpits of the war. Slow, fixed undercarriage, no defensive agility. Without fighter escort, it was a guaranteed kill for any intercepting aircraft. The RAF destroyed them in such numbers over Britain that the entire campaign had to be abandoned. Brutal to the enemy. Fatal to its own crews when unprotected. 2. Ilyushin Il-2 Shturmovik, Soviet Union, 1941. Stalin called it as essential as bread and air, and the Eastern Front proved him right. The Il-2 flew directly into German anti-aircraft fire at near treetop level on every mission, its armored steel airframe absorbing punishment that would have destroyed any conventional aircraft. 4 German armored columns, a formation of Il-2s, meant certain casualties: rockets, bombs, and cannon fire delivered from almost point-blank range. For Soviet pilots, the reality was harder. Early single-seat variants had no rear gunner, and German fighters exploited that blind spot without mercy. Loss rates in some units exceeded 1 aircraft per mission. Pilots called it the most dangerous cockpit on the Eastern Front, not because of the machine, but because of what it demanded from the man inside it. 3. Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, United States, 1941. The Thunderbolt turned close air support into systematic destruction. 8.50 caliber machine guns, rockets, and bombs delivered at low altitude made German armored columns in France and the Pacific Islands effectively indefensible from the air. Ground troops under a P-47 attack had almost no protection. The aircraft came in fast, hit hard, and repeated. For pilots, the brutality ran in both directions. Its sheer mass, over 7 tons fully loaded, made low-altitude attack runs unforgiving. A misjudged pull-out at treetop level meant no recovery. It absorbed battle damage that would have destroyed lighter aircraft, but it demanded total precision from its pilot at the exact moment the threat was highest. 4. Douglas A-1 Skyraider, United States, 1946. A piston-engine aircraft that outlasted an entire generation of jets in combat relevance. The Skyraider carried a larger bomb load than a World War II B-17, on a single propeller-driven airframe, and could loiter over a target for hours, something early jets could not. In Vietnam, it flew directly into anti-aircraft fire to protect downed pilots during combat search and rescue, a mission that demanded not just capability but an almost unreasonable willingness to absorb ground fire. Pilots who flew it called it honest. It told you exactly what it was doing. But flying low, slow, and loaded over defended terrain in Vietnam was a sentence that ended badly for many crews. The aircraft survived. Not all of its pilots did. 5. Henschel HS-129, Germany, 1942. Germany built the HS-129 for a single purpose: to kill Soviet armor at close range. When fitted with the 75mm BK-75 cannon, one of the largest weapons ever mounted on a tactical aircraft, it could destroy T-34 tanks from above with a single round. For Soviet armored crews, it was a direct threat that bypassed all ground-level defenses. For German pilots, it was a different kind of punishment. The cockpit was claustrophobically small, visibility was severely restricted, and the captured French engines were chronically unreliable, particularly in the extreme temperatures of the Eastern Front. Pilots flew an aircraft that was physically exhausting, technically fragile, and forced to operate at low altitude directly over Soviet anti-aircraft positions on every engagement. 6. North American B-25 Mitchell, United States, 1941. In its gunship configuration, the B-25 was among the most violent attack aircraft of the Pacific War. Modified variants carried up to 14 forward-firing .50 caliber machine guns and flew mast-height attacks against Japanese shipping, meaning crews flew directly at armed vessels at near water level, saturating the target with fire before releasing bombs and pulling away through the debris. Japanese supply lines in New Guinea and the Philippines were effectively severed by these attacks. For crews, The margin between a successful run and a fatal one was measured in feet and fractions of a second. One misjudgment in altitude, one moment of hesitation on the pullout, and the aircraft flew into the water or the wreckage of its own target. 7. Hawker Typhoon, United Kingdom, 1941. The Typhoon was not supposed to survive long enough to become legendary. Early versions suffered catastrophic tail failures and carbon monoxide leaks into the cockpit. Pilots died before the enemy could reach them. Once those problems were resolved, it became the most feared ground attack aircraft in the European theater. Its rocket attacks on German armored columns at Falaise in 1944 were among the most concentrated and destructive close air support operations in Western European history. Panzer crews described attacks as arriving without warning at low altitude. There was no effective defense. 4 Typhoon pilots, every mission at low level meant flying through concentrated light flak, and the losses reflected it. The aircraft was brutal in every direction. To the enemy, to the environment, and to anyone who flew it carelessly. 8. Grumman A-6 Intruder, United States, 1963. The A-6 Intruder went where other aircraft could not, into complete darkness, in any weather, at low altitude, into the most heavily defended airspace in the world. Over North Vietnam's Route Package 6, crews faced radar-guided surface-to-air missiles, massed anti-aircraft artillery, and MiG interceptors simultaneously, at night, without visual reference. The aircraft's Diane attack system gave them precision no other carrier aircraft possessed at the time, but precision did not protect against a barrage of 85mm anti-aircraft fire at low altitude. The losses were significant. Crews who survived multiple deployments over North Vietnam understood that they had flown into a level of threat that statistics suggested they should not have survived. The Intruder demanded everything from the men who flew it. 9. Sukhoi Su-25 Frogfoot, Soviet Union, 1978. The Su-25 was designed to absorb punishment and keep attacking. In Afghanistan, it flew direct fire support missions in mountain terrain where there was no safe altitude. Too high and accuracy suffered. Too low and the aircraft entered the lethal engagement envelope of shoulder-launched missiles. Multiple Su-25s were lost to manpads over Afghanistan, and the threat was never fully solved. For Soviet and later Russian ground forces, it was a direct and reliable weapon. The aircraft arrived fast, delivered cannon fire and rockets with precision, and could sustain battle damage that grounded other types. For pilots, Afghanistan and later Syria and Ukraine demonstrated consistently that low-level attack aviation against a prepared enemy is among the most lethal assignments in modern warfare. 10. Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II, United States, 1976. The A-10 was engineered around the assumption that it would be hit, repeatedly. Titanium armor, redundant flight systems, and an airframe capable of flying with one engine, partial wing loss, and degraded hydraulics made it uniquely survivable. Its GAU-8 Avenger cannon, designed specifically to destroy main battle tanks, produced a sound that ground troops on both sides recognized instantly. In the Gulf War, A-10S destroyed over 900 tanks and 2,000 military vehicles. For Iraqi armored crews in open desert, there was no effective answer. For A-10 pilots, the aircraft's low speed, low-altitude profile placed them directly in anti-aircraft fire on every gun run. Its survival rate was not a product of avoiding the threat, it was built to fly through it and come home regardless. 11. Lockheed AC-130 Spectre, United States, 1968. The AC-130 turned a cargo aircraft into a persistent, orbiting artillery platform. Operating at night above the battlefield, it delivered continuous, precision fire from miniguns, 40mm Bofors cannon, and a 105mm howitzer directly onto ground targets, with a loiter time no fast mover could match. In Vietnam, AC-130s operating over the Ho Chi Minh Trail destroyed thousands of vehicles and supply convoys that nighttime darkness was supposed to protect. For enemy ground forces, the AC-130 was uniquely terrifying. Slow circles overhead, invisible in darkness, delivering fire with precision that seemed impossible from an aircraft. Its vulnerability to high-altitude surface-to-air missiles meant it operated only where air superiority was guaranteed, because in any other environment, it could not survive. 12. McDonnell Douglas AV-8B Harrier II, United States, United Kingdom, 1985. The Harrier's ability to take off and land vertically gave it operational reach no other Western attack aircraft possessed. Deployable from ships, forward bases, and unprepared surfaces. In combat, it delivered precision strikes and close air support in environments where conventional aircraft could not operate. The brutality of the Harrier was primarily directed at its pilots. Transitioning through powered lift, the regime between conventional flight and vertical hover required simultaneous management of throttle, nozzle vector, and flight controls with no margin for distraction. The historical accident rate across all Harrier operators has been among the highest in Western military aviation. The aircraft's capabilities were real and proven. So was the cost of flying it, paid consistently over decades of service. 13. Ilyushin Il-10, Soviet Union, 1944. The Il-10 arrived as a refined successor to the Il-2, faster and more maneuverable, and entered combat at the close of World War II. Its real test came in Korea, where North Korean forces used it in ground attack missions against United Nations positions in the conflict's opening weeks. 4 ground troops facing Il-10 attacks in the summer of 1950. The threat was immediate and real, cannon fire and rockets delivered at low altitude against unprepared defensive lines. The situation changed rapidly once United Nations jet fighters established air superiority. Il-10s were intercepted and destroyed in significant numbers, revealing the hard boundary of piston-era attack aviation against jet-age opposition. The aircraft was effective in its context, lethal to ground targets, but operationally finished the moment the air environment changed. 14. Vought A-7 Corsair II, United States, 1966. The A-7 was not dramatic. It was precise, reliable, and quietly lethal, which made it more dangerous than aircraft with more aggressive reputations. Fitted with one of the first integrated navigation and weapons delivery computers in tactical aviation, it gave pilots a precision strike capability that contemporaries could not match. Over North Vietnam, A-7 pilots flew from carrier decks into the most defended target sets, delivering ordnance with accuracy that earlier aircraft achieved only under ideal conditions. In the 1986 Libya strikes and the Gulf War, it continued to perform without failure. Its pilots were not glamorized. They flew a professional instrument of precision attack and returned. The A-7's brutality was in its consistency. It did exactly what it was sent to do, every time. 15. Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit, United States, 1997. The B-2 represents the most absolute expression of attack aviation, the ability to penetrate any air defense network on Earth and deliver 40,000 pounds of precision-guided weapons without detection. Its radar cross-section is reduced to roughly that of a large bird. In 1999, B-2S flew non-stop from Missouri to Serbia, struck their targets through one of the most sophisticated air defense environments in Europe at the time, and returned, a 30-hour round trip that no other aircraft could have completed. For enemy air defense commanders, the B-2 presents a problem with no current solution. It cannot be reliably tracked, engaged, or deterred by any operational surface-to-air missile system. That is not an aggressive claim. It is the operational conclusion from every conflict in which it has been used. 16. Sukhoi Su-25 Fullback, Russia, 1994. The Su-34 was built to penetrate defended airspace at low altitude and high speed and deliver weapons with precision that earlier Soviet strike aircraft could not achieve. Its side-by-side cockpit, terrain-following radar, and integrated electronic warfare suite gave crews the tools to operate deep inside hostile territory. In Syria, it demonstrated a genuine long-range precision strike capability, though also revealed persistent gaps in Russian guided munitions reliability under combat conditions. For opposing ground forces and infrastructure targets, the Su-34 delivered cruise missiles and precision bombs from ranges that offered no warning. For its crews, deep strike at low altitude in contested airspace remains among the most demanding and lethal missions in modern combat aviation, regardless of the platform. 17. Chengdu J-10C, China, 2018. The J-10C marked China's arrival as a credible indigenous combat aircraft developer. Its active electronically scanned array radar, domestic WS-10B engine, and integration with the PL-15 Beyond Visual Range missile, assessed by Western analysts as among the most capable air-to-air weapons currently in service, give it genuine offensive reach. In the ground attack role, its precision strike capability and compatibility with modern Chinese guided munitions make it a credible threat to ground forces and fixed infrastructure. For opposing pilots, The combination of a capable airframe and a long-range missile that potentially exceeds the engagement envelope of current Western air-to-air weapons represents a threat that cannot be dismissed. It is the product of decades of deliberate development, and it shows. 18. BAE Systems Hawk T1, United Kingdom, 1976. The Hawk's war role in NATO planning was one of the starkest assignments in Cold War aviation. In the event of Soviet attack, Hawk T1 pilots would have been scrambled against incoming nuclear-armed bombers, in an aircraft with no radar, no electronic warfare capability, and gun armament only. Many of those intercept profiles were understood to be unsurvivable. That is not speculation. It was the operational reality accepted by the pilots assigned to that role. Beyond the Cold War context, the Hawk has been used in active ground attack operations in Yemen, Sri Lanka, and other conflicts, delivering rockets and cannon fire against ground targets. Its legacy is built on training, but its operational record carries a weight that the training role alone does not explain. 19. Mikoyan MiG-27 Flogger D, Soviet Union, 1973. The MiG-27 was a purpose-built ground attack aircraft derived from the MiG-23 fighter, stripped of air combat optimization and re-engineered entirely for battlefield strike. Its 6-barrel cannon, laser-guided bomb capability, and anti-radiation missiles made it a genuine multi-threat platform against ground forces and radar installations. Indian MiG-27s flew combat missions during the Kargil conflict in 1999, delivering strikes in high-altitude mountain terrain where engine performance margins were critically narrow. The engine-related accident rate across India's MiG-27 fleet over its service life was significant. High-altitude operations at the limits of the aircraft's performance envelope produced failures that cost aircraft and pilots. It was retired in 2019, not because it lacked capability, but because maintaining it had become a risk in itself. 20. Panavia Tornado GR4, United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, 1979. The Tornado was built for a mission most pilots would have refused if they understood the full statistics. Low-level, high-speed penetration of Warsaw-packed air defenses in a nuclear war scenario, at night, at treetop height, alone. Its variable sweep wing made that mission physically possible. Whether crews would have survived, it was another question entirely. In the Gulf War, RAF Tornado crews flying airfield denial missions at low level in the opening nights of the campaign suffered losses that reflected exactly how lethal that environment was. Later operations saw a transition to medium-altitude precision strike, which improved survival rates but changed the fundamental nature of the mission. The Tornado's legacy is inseparable from the era it was built for, a war that never happened, but which shaped every aircraft that followed it. So that was the most brutal attack aircraft ever built. If you have any questions related to these machines, make sure to drop them in the comment section. And if you spotted any mistake or something that didn't feel right, let me know down below. I read everything. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and have a great time.